Hey, but I want to welcome everybody back into another episode of the Fourth Down Podcast. Back at it again with the normal guys, DeAndre, Dorian, Leek.
Yo,
Good.
How you guys feeling?
good, man.
Great.
Feeling good.
Springing forward, we getting an extra hour of sunlight, right?
Kind of warm up a little bit.
You know what I mean? Like you see the fits, right?
I didn't appreciate that I lost an hour of sleep and I got to get up at 5 in the morning, but
Hey, but you get extra hour of sunlight.
I be
And it's
forgetting
getting
all
warm.
about it. I be forgetting all about it.
Hey, but DK to the Steelers, Cooper Kupp to the Seahawks, D Hop to the Ravens, Aziz to the Eagles, right?
it wasn't too crazy.
Out of all of those moves, or one that I didn't name, what do y'all feel like was the biggest move of free agency so far? Like, what do you feel like? What move made another team like an instant contender if they already weren't?
I wouldn't say like one particular move, but I'll say a direction the team went. I say the Bears. They kind of retooled the entire offensive line, and that team really had no holes. I mean, the year before, they got Caleb. They were like a top 5 defense. Definitely in a point differential.
Yeah.
So they were a good defense already, even though they didn't play up to that par last year. And then they already had a receiving core. I don't know if they bring Keenan back, but even with DJ Moore and the Doomsday, I mean, they got good enough guys there. So they really only had to improve the offensive line, and they did that on the first day, right? They got 2 guards and a center, both going to start day one. So
They knew what they wanted.
And they were good. They're good. They're good.
Yeah, they're
linemen.
solid.
Real solid.
yeah,
See, with me, I wouldn't even say like it uplifted the team, but I see what they wanted to do. And the only reason I'm bringing this up because they're in our division, the Debo to Washington. It was like, it doesn't change that I feel like we could still beat them through the season, but it does make it a lot harder. Like, we did struggle with like the underneath stuff like all season, even though still the best defenses are like all around in almost every category. But like in the games that we did lose or they got close, like the Rams, underneath all game, almost beat us with that stuff. So it's like, and then they went over top when they had the opportunity to do that because they took so much underneath, and then we had to come down, bring our safeties down, and it just left everything open for them to kill us over top. So it's like that, in a sense, for me, is like, yeah, that was pretty big because Jaden Daniels had a crazy rookie season, rookie of the year, and went to the NFC Championship. So it's like, what more could he have done?
As the wide receiver too, like, I mean, he's gonna eat. I mean, a lot of times on the 49ers, while Ayuk was there, he still was kind of the guy, right? Until like, people always say like he's the gadget player. Ayuk was the true receiver, right?
Yeah.
But he got more of the touches than Ayuk did.
Yeah.
So as a receiver too, that's a great receiver too to have. I mean, I don't know if the weight he put on is like real or not, but
And I feel like, honestly, when he played with the 49ers, there was a lot of pressure on him. Like, a lot of people don't like him. My dad's a 49ers fan. He hates Debo.
Wow.
I'm not too.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I've never heard that before.
Swear to God, I could call him. But like, it like I didn't like necessarily be a big fan of him. I feel like there's some things he could do better. But like for that position, I feel like he'll fit, especially with Scary Terry and all them.
So you think he becomes the 2 or he becomes the 1? Like,
he's a 2.
He's a 2.
He's a 2.
He's a
Come on,
2.
man.
I mean, he's
Put some respect on his
yeah. No. That's why I asked.
I mean,
I didn't
he's a
want to.
depreciating asset, right? He coming off of injuries. They saying his weight fluctuates. I don't know if that's just Twitter talk or real stuff. But he'll be ready by the season, so that's probably not much of anything. But that's Terry's team. Terry been there for a while.
Sure.
They gonna keep him in that role.
Absolutely.
Debo, I mean, he's coming off of a down year, right? Like didn't he lead the league in drops? Or he was like
About that.
top,
Like-
like one of the top
Probably.
pass droppers, I
I can
guess.
I mean, probably so.
I didn't see the stat.
But again, to your point, there might have been like pressure, and then, it was a lot of guys in and out of the lineup. Like CMC was out.
I mean, a lot of his juice though isn't from like true wide receiver type of things though. Like
It's
a
just
lot of
an
his stuff is
athlete.
giving the ball, and let him work.
Yak, yeah, like
Also,
So-
I will say, I ain't gonna lie. I think Debo was kind of not the healthiest really last year. Like, he dealing with a lot of injuries.
He got hurt like twice.
And then, like, I think a lot of the things was like he kind of was forcing coming back for real. Like, he didn't really take the time necessary to really get healthy. So I think if he can get healthy for real, honestly, Debo's a huge asset. So obviously he's not finna be the 1, but he's definitely finna help out, like you said. And they already got a lot of good players all around on that offense. So that just adds to it.
do you like the move as a Ravens fan to get D Hop? Do you feel like it's too late? Do you feel like it's then the running joke is you guys are a retirement home, right? Like
So all right, it's 2 things. One, I will say, Because I have been saying, like, honestly, I think with D Hop, we about like 2-3 years late. He is one of my favorite receivers, so like I'm not mad, and also for the price, I'm definitely not mad. Like it's really like it was like it's $6 million, but it could turn out to be $8 million. That's nothing. Like I'm cool with giving him that. As far as on the whole retirement home thing, it is crazy because we usually tend to bring like veterans in like on they like close to or last leg.
Dez Bryant, Odell,
right? But like that's really okay. Well,
Steve Smith.
That was
I forgot about
the better
Steve.
ones. But I
True.
will say sometimes like with that, like a lot of the guys that we do be bringing in, they kind of flourish like for some reason. Like for example, Jadeveon Clowney. Came over here and ended up getting like I think that was like his career high in sacks when he was with us.
Revived his career for real. He was on the way out.
Kyle Van Noy.
I was about to say Van
right
Noy,
now, like 9.5 his first year, and then now he just had 9 his first year, and then 12.5 this last year, highest ever in his entire career. The most he had in his career before was like 6. So it's just like I don't know. It's like and I mean it's just probably because we got him in the right position. So I feel like I don't know. I think this is not D Hop coming in to be a 1 or 2. He coming in just to be. I mean, kind of fill that role in is that like, and I think honestly it's really good. Because a leading receiver, like a veteran like him to come in and like mentor the guys, I think it's great. Honestly,
I mean, I like I said when we had briefly talked about it before, like I see him as the wide receiver 3, right? And like while he's not, the D Hop of old, he's still an upgrade at that position. So I mean, the Ravens went out and found somebody who they can rely on that isn't Nelson Aguilar. Or any of the other guys on the back of the roster. Eagles fans and Patriots fans are both hip to Nelson Aguilar.
50-50
So it's like, I mean, he's an upgrade. He's old, I mean, he can be, especially for Bateman more so than Zay, right? Where he can, because he's more truer to a Bateman style receiver than he is Zay. He can kind of, just give him them last little pieces, them last little veteran, knowledge that he has that, somebody might not have had. Because a guy like Odell, who isn't a big body receiver, he might have been more helpful for Zay than Bateman.
Exactly.
So, you get it on the other side.
And real quick, I will say, I actually am not mad at us signing Cooper Rush as our backup quarterback. I just want to put that out there. Like, and I'm going to be for real, like, this is probably the best backup quarterback we've had in a while. I love Snoop, but...
I was going to say RG3, not Flacco.
I mean...
McSorley.
I mean, if you're considering Flacco, yes, because he was on the bench for when Lamar was in the starting. Yeah, that's... Okay, yes, but...
Tyrod Taylor?
I think Tyrod is better than
Tyrod is cool, but I don't know. Like it just point Tyrod being, I'm really more so like in the last recent years, the last like 2, 3, 4, like we've had to rely on Josh Johnson. So like I'm gonna be real with you. It's like I love the guy, but I mean, honestly, like, and it's just like it's the off chance that like we got to worry about maybe Lamar having to sit a game or two or something, some something happening. I'm cool with Cooper Rush having to go in there and take some snaps. I just wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Because I know there's been a lot of people that seem like, why the hell did we do that? Or some people, I ain't gonna lie, some of the people was funny in some of the comments on the post. They were like, yeah, Lamar got to be worried for his job. And I was like,
they be competition.
Yeah, they be looking at it though, like you gotta have a similar style of quarterback so you don't have to switch up your system if he does have to play. But I mean, that's not necessarily true.
Crazy you say that. Like honestly, I like that style of backup quarterback that we got. Like it just, for some reason, I like having that. Like we had. No, and it's like it's no knock on him. Like Lamar is Lamar. Like nobody else can be Lamar. So it's like to keep trying to have these Lamar backups.
Fake Lamar.
To keep trying to have these guys that like could replicate Lamar
in practice.
It's not. That's not necessary.
And I feel as though like if something were to happen and Lamar doesn't like play or he gets hurt in the middle of the game, it's more of a. You could throw simple things out with Cooper Rush and it'll work. He'll stand in the pocket, throw the ball. That's your job.
Still relying on the
Don't have to run.
Right.
You have good players. You got good playmakers. You got if you hand the ball off, you're fine. You throw the ball down the field, that's cool. He's gonna stand in there and throw the ball. And I think that's why they picked him up, because you don't look for him to run. You look for him to just be a backup quarterback, which is get the ball down the field.
True.
Finish the game, basically. It's finish the game.
Yeah,
simple.
Do simple stuff.
Now, what I will say, though, a lot of people don't really look at free agency for this type of thing because everyone looks at where players are going, like their new teams. But I think Ronnie Stanley, re-signing him was actually probably one of the best moves in the entire free agency because I guarantee you, if y'all didn't, he'd have been on my team.
He'd have been a Patriot.
He'd have been on my team.
We'd have overpaid.
And Washington was coming right behind, too.
Not gonna lie, I could have seen that. They had the
but
most
we
money.
were going to do it. Like,
so, yeah, Yeah, what? We was gonna give him
100%. Whatever he wanted. Whatever he wanted, bro.
So, like, I mean, a lot of people don't look at re-signing as like big moves, but re-signings are very big moves, and that was probably the best re-signing of all the re-signings that happened.
I feel like his is interesting only because, like y'all just said, y'all would have threw the bag at him a lot with like other teams would have, and it's the fact that he took that home, like he wanted to stay here and play with the Ravens and Lamar.
For a chance to win, yeah.
Exactly. So it's like I just feel like that just adds to it as well. Like because like you said, honestly, he definitely would have been somewhere else. Like he's definitely well worth the money. But
I think he'd have been the best left tackle on the market. Granted, you guys not you guys. The Commanders traded for Tunsil, right? But
yeah, he'd have easily been the best left tackle on there. I mean, it wasn't even a whole lot of tackles available. That was the whole thing with us of how everybody was getting at the Patriots, you know, for going so heavily on defense. But it wasn't no options on offense.
It's actually kind of crazy.
There weren't any options
to transit because I was like going to say I was going to bring up the fact that I kind of thought it was interesting how y'all kind of like really went out
defense.
There. Not even that, but just like went out there and really tried to like. Y'all got a lot of guys to fill in these spots that y'all needed.
I like the approach that they took just because of Rabes and his background, how he runs and builds his teams. Like we're gonna build it through the trenches, the front seven. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna hold you down. You're not scoring more than 21 to 24 points on us because obviously it's the new age NFL. So like people gonna score. Like offense is king. But I'm just saying you're not scoring more than 25 points on us consistently. So that just gives us the chance to win every game. Now we don't have juice on offense still, right? But we loaded up on defense. Like, we filled every single hole on defense. There is no hole on defense left.
Well,
and that's a win.
Well, what do you think?
That's a win.
I agree that defense, you know, our defense is going to be much better, but I felt like our defense wasn't as far as the offense is.
What?
I felt like the defense was better than the offense was.
No.
Well, listen, bro.
Did you watch last season? Bro?
Oh, I watched every game.
I
watched every game, bro.
Bro, we
running for his life.
Tackle in space.
Nobody could create separation.
So what?
You play man coverage, nobody gets open.
So what?
Then you're going to have Drake May scrambling, doing all this extra stuff, and he make it hurt.
If you're not scoring more than 24 points a game, I got a chance to win every game, no matter who I'm throwing to.
Bro, I
can't stop anyone. When the other teams are averaging, what was it like? I don't know. Don't quote me on this, but around 6 yards a carry. Yeah. No matter who the back touching the ball is.
Definitely was like around.
That's crazy.
I'm not saying the defense was perfect, right? But I'm saying the offense was worse.
Bro, we had a historically worse defense. We had one of the worst.
Our offense was like ranked last in the league.
Right, but that was for that season. We had one of the worst defenses in the past 5 seasons.
Bro, we've had one of the worst offenses in the league since Brady left.
I agree with that, but we had a historically worse defense last year than we've seen in the NFL.
Okay. Let me ask you this. What was our number one receiver, right? Mm-hmm. How many receiving yards did he have this year?
Probably Demario Douglas, probably around 500.
It was 700, but you know it's cool. We haven't had a 1,000-yard receiver since Julian.
I'm with you. That's why I'm off. That's why I've moved on to the Tet train when it came to drafting.
I want Tet,
at 4 because he ran a 4. He ran a 4 like a 4 or 4.8 around a 4.5, which is good for a 6'5" receiver.
Yeah, he's huge.
That's a good pick.
So like I'm fine with that, and then banking on getting that left tackle and that developmental piece, you know, in the back of the first or in the second. My thing was, listen, the only thing that you can we could have went out. We could have went out and we threw the bag at all these guys, right? We threw the bag at Godwin. Apparently we didn't want to trade for Metcalf. I thought we was in that sweepstakes, but apparently it came out that we weren't.
I don't get that one.
I don't know. Maybe we just wanted high character guys, and he's seen as a crash out.
And we didn't want to overpay for Kupp, which I get.
Yeah, it just wasn't nobody there. We was gonna give Godwin what, $30 million?
He turned it down.
But I'm saying, do you think that would have fixed the offense, Chris?
It would have helped. It's a step in the right, bro. Hold on, wait.
We went from 31st to 27th.
It's progress.
We just went from the worst defense to at least like the middle of the pack.
We would have went from the worst offense to like middle of the pack.
No, not from Godwin.
Hey, listen. My other thing is the Patriots knew David Andrews was going to retire, and they didn't address the center position.
I agree with that.
Cole Strange, Jake, we knew all offseason he was going to retire.
My thing is, I rather if I'm building a team in the NFL, I'd rather have question marks in offense than defense, because at least if I have a good defense, I have a base set of what my team and how good my team can be.
But look at that year we had Cam. Our defense was great. Well,
and we went 7-9.
Not great, but it was.
We went 7-9 with Cam Newton in the COVID year, and his best receiver was Jacoby Myers.
Bro, 7-9,
and he had 2 shoulder surgeries and couldn't throw more than 40 yards.
Bro, I just think if you can keep up with the high scoring teams, bro, an average defense is gonna make a stop.
So all right, and I hear your point that you just made with that right there, but I see where he's coming from. Because if you have that middle of the pack to damn near top tier elite defense, then you can stop. You don't got to worry about that. Like,
Okay. To that point,
You're gonna be in games you're not even supposed to be in.
like y'all both make good points.
Yeah, no, and I agree.
Both things are true, right?
I agree with you. The offense is nowhere close to where it needs to be for us to be a real contender, right? But I do think that it was easier in this free agent class to improve your defense than your offense.
Okay.
And one thing I agree with you on with as far as defense, like, and I like defense more than offense anyway because defense looks better. But when you say you need a defense to do anything, look at the Bengals. Crazy offense, outstanding offense. Joe Burrow put up almost an MVP season. No defense,
and they just doubled down. And they just doubled down on it.
You got random teams scoring almost 40 on you, and you have one of the best quarterbacks in the league, one of the best receivers in the league, one of the best backup receivers in the league, and you can't do anything. You can't win because you can't stop anybody.
And that's what I'm saying, though. Is like that's why I'm actually happy you brought up the Cam Newton year because that offense was terrible, and we went 7-9 in the COVID year. He had no camp. He was in camp for 2 weeks. He was in camp for 2 weeks. His receivers, Jacoby Myers, Demir Bird, and Edelman, who had no knees.
I remember. He had a career year against the Seahawks. But
come on, and so that's what I'm saying. Like
week 2,
and Cam was tossed into.
That's what I'm saying. Like we went 7-9 with that offense. Why? Because our defense kept us in games, and literally we had to make one play. And these are NFL level guys. I guess somebody can make a play sometime.
Yes.
I guess my point is that if the defense is great, but the offense keeps going 3 and out, the defense isn't going to look great because they're on the field so many times. Let's say the defense gets a turnover and they got you right in the red zone. The offense can't even score a touchdown.
But the flip side of that is if the defense continuously keeps giving you chances to score, eventually you're going to score. Eventually because look, think about it. Like even in those games when we had those games the year before, right, when we had Mac Jones, and like we were losing games 6-0 in London against the Colts, right? Do you think Drake May is going to lose a game 6-0? If our defense can hold another team to 0, you think Drake May going to win the game?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So literally we elevated at quarterback and we increased our defense. And I just think like while I don't see us as, a perennial lock for the playoffs, I think if we were the way we went puts us in a better position to be the 7th seed than the other way.
But I do want to commend the Pats on what they did. It's like like I said, y'all could have threw a bag on somebody outstanding, high name, great name in the NFL, which I didn't. And what I haven't seen them do since Brady left, they trusted in a young core. Like they like what they got, they're gonna build off of what they got. So we're gonna uplift what we didn't have, which is the defense. Y'all got Future and Drake May. Y'all got good spots in the draft too. Like y'all could draft other guys on the offense, like young guys to build this team up. Like few couple years, they get the gelling together and get the like everything they need out their young guys when they come to the offensive side. Because having young players on the offensive side is way better anyway. So it's like y'all get them gelling together and could move forward to make the playoffs with the guys y'all have.
And just the last point on it, because I don't want to just overshadow the whole thing with just Patriots talk, right? But look at what the Commanders did, right? The reason outside of Jaden Daniels just being exceptional, the reason their team competed every year wasn't because they made massive leaps on the offensive side of the ball. They signed a lot of mid-level veterans that can hold their own on defense and say, "Yo, y'all just hold us up, and he gonna win it for us." So we looking at it the same way. Just hold us up, and let's hope Drake can win it for us.
I mean, but if we're gonna put this into context, Jayden has Terry McLaurin,
correct,
which is huge on offense.
I agree.
Drake May has nothing close to that.
Right, but I also think that without Terry McLaurin, Jaden Daniels still would have put them in position to be playing for the playoffs.
But Terry McLaurin is also a product of being drafted to the
Well, that's a whole separate issue.
But my point is we had a bunch of holes. We had holes all over our team. While we didn't fill the 2 biggest holes, which were left tackle and receiver, we filled a bunch of little ones. We filled 6 or 7 little ones.
Now, I do say, I will say, I did like the Carlton Davis move.
Carlton Davis and Gonzo was going to be locked.
I did really enjoy that move, especially because Jonathan Jones just went to the Commanders.
Milton Williams, we don't even know. We still got Christian Barmore, and we don't know if he's playing or not.
Yeah.
So if we line up Milton Williams and Christian Barmore next to each other,
it's nasty.
Then we got what's the name from the Titans? Harold Landry coming off the edge.
Yeah.
We still got Keon White, who's only 3 years in. that D-line and that front seven just got crazy. We got Spillane instead of Tavai.
I know you're happy about that.
Tavai was the worst player in the NFL last year. The
I
NFL.
think I remember he was talking about him.
He said, "Get him off my team, bro."
He was terrible, bruh. He couldn't catch a cold in the winter.
Bro, didn't you say Jawan Bentley blocked you on Instagram too?
Yeah, Bentley blocked me a year. so just a quick. So this was actually the either the Cam Newton year or the year after. He was kind of looking like Tavai, right? Like real slow, no sideline to sideline movement, no hips, nothing, bruh. Like missing tackles, can't defend, can't play the pass, nothing, bruh. Just out there running. And I got in his DM and I lit him up, bruh. I ain't gonna lie. He blocked me and I'm still blocked to this day.
Did he respond?
No, he just blocked me.
Yeah, he really. He must have really felt that. He was like,
because he knew that.
because he knew
it was right.
Yeah, he knew it was right.
And now look, the crazy part is the year after he blocked me, he became good.
He was nice.
He was like that.
He was real good last year.
Hey,
Yeah.
all Pats Nation out there, you can thank
on this
me.
wall, bro. Hey, but I know you brought up the Bengals.
Yeah, I'm glad. I wanted to go back to that.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase extension, and they just
Higgins.
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm actually a really big T Higgins fan.
Oh, me too. I love T.
I
bro.
love T, bro. And like, I ain't gonna lie, I think they really did right by him, and it made him the highest paid wide receiver too, like in NFL history.
Mhm.
And it just made me want to like bring up the question, like, do y'all think T Higgins is the best wide receiver too in history? And before I answer, I just want to throw some names out there because me and my mans was talking about it last night. You gotta think about it. Like, we got guys like Anquan Bolden.
I don't.
You know, and it's funny. You don't. What were you gonna say?
Chris Carter.
Oh, that's
It's
that's
funny,
what I
yo.
started
He
thinking
brought
about.
him up, but
Randy.
I don't know, yo, because he was already kind of solidified, and then came in Randy. Like,
Mm.
so I don't know, but yeah,
I get what you're saying. He was the one until Randy came.
yeah, and you know what I mean. But yeah, there's also Chris Carter, Chris Godwin,
Mhm.
So like, just think,
Smitty,
like,
for you guys.
yeah, like, so like, how do y'all feel about this? Like, do y'all think T
Ever.
Higgins is like?
I gotta see a full list.
That's
of
why he got
I'm
paid.
trying to think.
He got
Dude,
paid
like,
as the best wide receiver two ever. And y'all, like, I just feel like I wanted to say, like, y'all agree?
I'm just trying to think, like, who.
And it's kind of hard because it's a really like wide receiver two. Because it's like I'm saying guys that's like strictly wide receiver two.
Mm.
Not a guy that's had
He was the one that kind of fell off a little bit.
Yeah, you know
nah.
what I mean?
No, he was always number. Yeah, actually was always number 2.
exactly.
Bro, I know when this episode airs, somebody's gonna get on us for missing somebody.
Oh yeah, it's for sure.
That's why I'm trying to like.
I'm
It's
trying to
impossible.
think.
Like,
Yeah.
but like, yeah, even last night when we were thinking about like, we really only came up with like 4 or 5 guys because it's like,
That was just the first one that came to my mind.
Yeah.
Literally, Chris
and
Carter.
it's crazy because like
Literally.
I wasn't even thinking about him when he said.
I mean, what? Don't what was CD to Amari Cooper ever, or they didn't overlap?
They overlap.
They overlap, but see that year that
Yeah.
CD was going crazy, Amari was hurt.
Okay, I got you. That's escaped my mind, so I had to ask.
I'm
Yeah.
thinking. I don't know why I'm thinking like Steelers. Like, am I missing
So-
anybody on Steelers?
Whatchamacallit, he wanted. So it's funny you say that because I didn't even think about it. Because when Santonio Holmes dipped, I guess he was technically the one. Was he the one in the Jets, or was Brandon Marshall still there?
I don't know.
Because I mean, technically, Santonio Holmes was the 2. Because I'm sorry, Hines Ward was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He was
it's
wild.
like, so I mean, Santonio Holmes could be considered a wide receiver 2 because after the Jets, he was nothing.
He better than Santonio Holmes.
Yeah.
That's a whole different level of receiver. I mean, you talking about guys like.
But I'm just saying, so
you talking
all
about
right.
guys like Plexico Burrs to what?
So
Ricky
one of my
Cruz.
guys about he brought up was Greg Jennings.
Or Cooper Cup. Cooper Cup and Puka.
No, he's better.
Cup-
When Cup was
Cup
the
was the
2,
one.
Higgins is better than him when he was the 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cup was the one though. Also, like,
When
Still
Puka was
kinda
there.
one. Still kind of was the
I
one.
was looking at Puka.
and
as
he's
the
a one right now. If we're being for real,
True. Okay.
I mean, it might be.
I think
Might
he is.
be.
I was just saying,
Yeah, he
is
might be.
the
You
great-
said Greg. You said Greg Jennings.
Yeah, that was just a name throw because like he threw out Greg Jennings, and I was like, I mean, yeah, considering like he had to deal with Jordy Nelson and Donald Driver.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you just talking about wide receivers, right? Just not second options, but just wide receivers.
I mean, Jennings.
Because like,
Wide receiver too. Yeah.
Yeah, I
yeah,
got
yeah,
you.
yeah,
I
like
got
yeah,
you.
yeah, but yeah,
because I wouldn't throw like tight ends into that situation.
Yeah, no.
But no, he might be then.
Well, I
He
feel
might
like
be
we're
then.
missing somebody big.
Yo, it
bro.
is somebody
Like,
very big. It's somebody very big.
I just can't.
It's
Julio Roddy White.
He better than Roddy.
Uh,
And Roddy was the one that fell off.
right.
okay.
Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like in them situations, that I don't look at that because that's a guy that literally got drafted to take over that guy's spot.
Yeah.
Like Julio was literally Roddy White's replacement.
So okay, I know
Yeah.
the one that's top of my mind right now. Y'all taking T Higgins over Chris Godwin.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, I guess you could say what? Wes Welker to Randy Moss.
Oh yeah, that was another.
I'm
Wes
taking T.
Welker.
Higgins.
Wes Welker,
Wes
I mean,
Welker-
production
honestly,
wise,
like,
I get it, yeah.
production wise, it's not close.
Yeah,
but third down.
But
I
ability wise, it's T.
Yeah.
And I mean,
But-
right, we're also like, it's again, you can't compare that yet right now because I feel like that's an ended career versus.
Yeah.
This is like T.
But you talking about a guy who caught 100 balls a year.
Yeah, man.
But I do want to talk about like what the Bengals decided to do.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. Those guys completely.
Jalen Waddle. I'm
He better than Waddle. He better than Waddle. He better than Waddle.
I do like they completely do deserve their money. They deserve their check that they got. But you spent all your money and you didn't get anybody for your defense.
They're trying to re-sign Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're working
I
on
guess
that,
the
but
model they're gonna do, they probably just gonna draft defense. They probably not gonna draft one offensive position. Which I mean, obviously you gotta hit on your draft picks, but you'd have had to draft either side, no matter
But
who you
it
paid.
was only reason I'm saying like they should have spent a little bit of money because there's like so many good guys out there that like definitely could have been a for sure sign for them. Like,
Well, I mean, they're going to get a new defensive coordinator too because they fired Lou.
true.
And it's funny you should say that because like I ain't gonna lie, and this doesn't speak on like the spending on the guys or whatever, but like I honestly something that people got to start to talk about. I think it might be time for a coaching change. Like I don't think Zach Taylor's the guy, to be honest with you.
He's only been there like 3 years.
Nah, it's been like 5-6 years now.
Yeah, he's been there for a while.
You can kind of live.
Because he was there. I think he was there. Did he come in with Joe Burrow or was there the year before?
The year before.
So yeah, he's been there for a minute now.
But you can kind of live off of a Super Bowl appearance for a while as a coach, like especially at the team you did it with. You can do that.
Peterson live off that?
Fuck no.
Nah, sorry, bro.
Like,
sorry.
That's a different
but
organization.
even still, but
the Bengals is a low class organization. When they get a coach that even goes to, sorry, Bengals fans, but when you think about it, they had Marvin Lewis for like 20 years, bro, and he had what, like 4 playoff wins, like.
Yeah. But I mean that again, and that's what I'm saying. Like but that doesn't mean that you should stick with a guy for that.
I'm just saying,
time. Like that proves to the point. I feel like that you should.
Yeah.
That if it's starting to see the downfall, then something's not working.
I'm just saying it's the nature of the franchise, though. Like,
and then also like he doesn't have a good start to the year every year. They're always having to play from behind.
True.
Literally, he's always starting the year 0-2, 0-3. Like that doesn't help out at all.
If I would have been the Bengals, I wouldn't have just let him walk. I would have tagged T and I would have traded him probably to a team like the Patriots that needed him or like the Chargers, right? And I would have just got those assets and used them for like some high-end talent on defense, like you said. I don't believe you need to have 2 of the highest-paid receivers on both of them on your team.
I just feel like
especially when you got an elite quarterback.
Yeah, I feel like the Bengals are putting way too much pressure on Joe. Like you want him to go out here and score 40 points.
They ain't got no choice.
I can't. No, I don't like that. Like I hate it. Like I said, I love defense, and like most of my favorite Super Bowl teams are based around a defense. 2012 Ravens, our defense, our 2 Super Bowl wins. A lot of other teams won off of defense.
I know you didn't mention us, but I know I just noticed.
I mean, our first 2 bowls, the Rams joint.
Oh my god!
I hate it. I'm gonna be real. I hated watching y'all.
But
I mean, everyone hated watching us, bro. That's
but y'all had good teams too. But like, it's like I feel like they putting too much on Joe. Just basically saying like, yeah, we're gonna give you guys to play with on your side of the ball, and if they score, we want you to score with them. Like,
I guess to your point that they wanted to do right by their homegrown guys.
I get it,
but it wasn't the right move for the organization.
The thing I want to throw out there for y'all though is that he's the one that put the pressure on them to sign those guys.
True.
That wasn't their plan. That was his. He was all in interviews all Super Bowl week, all draft week, talking about, oh, we want T. Higgins. I want T. Higgins and Chase to stay, and I know we can make it happen, so it better happen. Like if
he got to live with the results.
That's what I'm saying. If you're a franchise quarterback and you putting your owners and GMs feet to the fire like that, then you gotta.
But speaking like that, now you got to back it up. Like you have to go out here and win games.
I feel like he had to anyway.
Yeah, especially
whether they kept
season
or not.
that they had last year.
Yeah.
Like I said, great season by Joe, but you have to win now.
Mm-hmm.
You got your guys win.
So,
I mean, and again, and I mean, it kind of, I guess, takes away from my point about the coach or whatever. But I mean, like, they kind of did get there with his guys. So I mean, like, it's like they made it before. So it's like, you know.
I mean, if you look at their defense, like, how many pieces away do you think they are from being just an average defense? Because if let's say they get Trey Hendrickson back, right, top pass rusher,
like 3 or 4.
You know, I feel like a couple average guys.
Yeah, like 3 or 4.
You know, like
some guys.
Yeah,
like,
it's really that back end, man.
It's the secondary.
Like, as a team that has to see them 2 times a year, they're not that bad. Like, and that's why I say, like, at times, like, I really think, honestly, and it may be a big thing to do, but honestly, that's why I feel like a coaching change is maybe needed. Because like, yo, playing them guys, kickoff, I'm still, and I was just talking to this about my man's last night. I'm still scared of the Bengals at kickoff. Granted, as the game goes on, yeah, they may do some Bengals stuff, but like,
I'll always be the Bengals.
you know what I'm saying? But even still, it's the game when it was 34-31, bro. Like, yo,
Their kicker don't miss.
35-38. Yo, these are the we literally just
I
went
get what
these
you're
games.
saying.
Like,
I get what you're saying. I do. I completely agree with that. But it's like you also got to understand it's a divisional game. So like it's like
I get that, but
it's
like, yo,
it's like rival week in college. Like playing
Anybody
y'all,
can win that
playing
game,
y'all,
yeah.
I'm definitely trying to beat y'all. I don't care if we're 2-6.
I understand
Like-
that, but I no, you're absolutely right. But I'm just saying to speak to the point of like saying like, oh, the defense needs to be that much better. Like, listen, look at how the Ravens offense is supposed to be positioned. We're the top offense in the league.
Yeah.
It's 34, it's 31, 34,
I
35,
was so scared
38.
to play the Cowboys.
So like, I just
every
feel like
year.
that speaks to like the Bengals. Yo,
Even they
they're
ass.
even
like,
when they ask, I still,
you know what I mean?
I still think we lose to the
It's
to the
so
Cowboys
crazy.
at least once a year.
It's so crazy
No
that
matter
y'all
how
had that
good.
feeling though, because like as a Patriots fan, like with the Bills being the best team in our division, bro, I still don't fear the Bills, bro. I don't know. Maybe that's just because we've been whipping them for so long.
I'm not gonna lie,
that, like,
bro.
bruh, the team in my division that gets me going
Dolphins?
crazy is Miami,
It's
bro.
the Dolphins.
I don't care
I don't like playing the
what.
Dolphins, bro.
I hate playing the Dolphins, bro.
I
They
just feel like it's
always
because
beat us,
it's
bro.
always something crazy though with those games though.
Yeah, they
It's always
beat us.
something wild.
Fucking Tua looks like Tom Brady every time we play him, bro. Like we cannot
I don't know.
stop Tua,
I don't
bro.
understand how he puts up so many yards against.
He's undefeated against
doesn't
Bill.
Make sense. Doesn't
Bill's
make
not
sense.
there anymore,
Yeah.
but Tua never lost to Bill Belichick.
So that's why I mean,
And I feel like that might be a point
So-
to his
yeah.
Orient's point. Like
Yeah,
now
Miami
with this defense that y'all had to get these holes, a little bit of holes filled. Now
Now
that
that
I don't have to
makes
worry about Tua acting
sense
like
now.
putting these
That
crazy
makes
numbers. I just feel like now, you know,
that's what I'm
shit.
saying.
Hey, I do want to ask because I just thought of this. I know we're moving backwards, but we still talking about wide receiver twos, right?
Mhm.
When he was in Minnesota, you got Adam Thielen and Diggs was the two. If you look at the production wise, Thielen was the one.
I'm saying
Diggs kind of snatched that from him though.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he was
no because
If
he,
you-
too fully.
Diggs was the two production wise.
Yeah.
I mean, I would prefer that Diggs over Higgins. Yes, I would.
Vikings Diggs over.
Yes,
no.
yes. I mean, off the strength that
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna.
It's more of a skill
I
set.
might have to go. Diggs.
It's more of a skill set thing than one being definitively better than the other.
They're really close. I
Like-
feel like
Yeah, but I just like the Diggs style receiver better, bro. I like the smooth route runner over the big body. You know how?
And maybe that's my thing.
like that.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm
Like the
I'm
big
an
body
old
guy.
school prototype of receiver. I like the Calvin Johnsons, the Julio Jones.
Right.
I'm saying like
Yeah.
so it's like I love
I-
T. The fact that I can literally the play against the Vikings where you could just throw it up to him and he just stretch back.
Yeah.
and do some-
See, that's
Yo,
crazy.
like,
That's
it's the
crazy.
fact that, yo,
But me, me, like, and also like, just a little background on me, like, I played football in high school. I was a receiver myself, and I can appreciate route running as like an art. So like when I look at guys like Stephon Diggs, right, who can just separate from any route, no matter the speed, the size, nothing, right? Like I think that's a way harder skill than like what you were born with, right? Like if you're just big, like don't get me wrong, being big is still a skill because everyone ain't big ain't good.
I want to agree.
But-
with him. I want to agree with doing.
No, he's not wrong. He's absolutely not
But-
wrong. But it's just something different when I can just say, yo, look,
go up and get it.
Yo, you out, man. Yo, you show. Yo, it's just something different when it's like, yo, go out there and show that you like just out muscle that man.
Right.
Go
But
up
you
there
can't-
and just like
But
literally.
when it comes to like pristine route running, bro, like there are certain routes that if you run perfectly, the DB literally cannot play. And like obviously you're a human, you're not going to replicate it perfectly every time. So
Yeah,
that's why you're able to be played by the defense. But when you run a smooth, clean route, I don't care who guarding you, you're going to be open, bro.
Bro, I'm not
Like-
I'm not gonna lie, bro. There was this play. I know we talking about Diggs, but
Mhm.
Jefferson was lined up against Gilmore on the goal line, and I think he ran a whip route. Bro, Gilly was lost. Like that was crazy, bro. Like he hit him with a head fake. Gilly was going inside. Jettas went right back outside. Walking
And
touchdown, bro. Like
the thing about route running too, though, is like speed's not even an aspect of that, right? Like you don't have to
Straight
be
footwork.
fast. It's all foot speed. It's all
Hips.
technique, bro.
Yeah.
So like that's why I can appreciate a receiver who that's their skill set, right? Like that's their main thing they're good at. So that's why I like Diggs over Higgins. But I mean Higgins is just a beast. I ain't gonna lie. to
Yeah,
you,
he's.
bro.
I had him in fantasy a couple years in a row, man. I know how he get
Puts up
down, bro.
points. He puts up points.
Ridiculous.
Just to, if I could ask a question, just to keep it on free agency, but kind of pivot a little bit. Like, where do y'all kind of think this Aaron Rodgers thing going?
Giants.
Giants?
They're gonna be.
Pittsburgh.
They're gonna be. One of them are gonna be dumb enough to sign him.
Because right now, I was watching this morning, but it's kind of been news over the weekend. He's of the mindset that if the Vikings don't give me a job, I'm going to retire.
Yeah.
He's on the mindset that if the Vikings don't give me a job, I'm going to retire.
Well, he's doing the whole Favre thing,
Yes,
right?
he literally is.
You think he's doing it on purpose or?
Yes.
Yeah.
It has to be.
I'm gonna be real with you. I've been said this before. Like I really feel like this is what he's doing. He's doing it on purpose.
The crazy thing is,
doing the Favre. He's doing.
It went that way for Brett too. Like
Exactly.
he went to the Jets, was terrible. Went to the Vikings
And was
and
amazing.
took him to the NFC
went to the
Championship.
NFC Championship.
That's what-
It's honestly it possibly might happen.
So you
and then
think-
look at the receivers that they had at the time. I want to say it was Sidney Rice and Percy Harvin, Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison.
That's crazy.
Come
See,
on,
look,
bro.
look, they don't.
They don't
They don't know about Sidney Rice. Bro.
They don't, yo. They don't know about
Sidney
Sidney
They don't know about
Rice,
Sidney
yo.
Rice, bro.
Like, yo, and the crazy thing, number 18, they both wore 18.
Okay, now
Come on, yo.
conspiracy theories
Yeah, it's a
here.
little
Come
weird.
on, yo. It's
Weird.
getting ridiculous
It should
now.
be repeated.
So you think Minnesota's
Full
the best fit for him?
Now,
If we're talking
team-wise,
I would rather him go to Minnesota.
I mean,
Instead of
Minnesota
Pittsburgh.
Instead of
Minnesota will
Pittsburgh in
probably
that
give him the best grounds for a good season.
Mhm.
yeah.
But I do think that culturally and organizationally, the Steelers are the
That's
most
why
solid
Discipline.
one.
Yeah.
What's crazy is I also feel like the Steelers, him going to the Steelers would be just like something that he's not used to in a sense.
Mhm.
And I feel like that might also be good for him.
Yeah.
But like I said, I do agree, like team wise and like what's around him,
Mhm.
it's going to be the Vikings.
Well, 'cause
But
Yeah.
the Jets are a terrible organization. Sorry, Jets fans. I'm sorry, but your owner was rated
It's not too many of those.
last. But
yeah, it's just
We don't have to.
so it,
apologize to them.
yeah, but yeah, like the structure there isn't good. So
terrible.
I get some of the reason why he looked bad, but
But the thing is, like Aaron, you know, he the type of guy he want to come in and be like, "Yo, whatever I say goes." Right? That Mike can rock with the Vikings. That ain't going down in Pittsburgh.
No.
Not
It ain't happening.
But I think he needs that though.
And that's why I say, like, I think that might be
He a
good. for him.
40-year-old quarterback. He ain't gonna want to listen to nobody.
But that also too, yeah, it's a
Like,
lot of things that play.
I can literally just not play.
That too. Honestly, he does not have to play anymore.
That's what I'm saying. So
I mean he's a Hall of Famer either way.
yeah.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts on free agency NFL? Anything we missed?
I mean, do you think DK and Pickens and
I was
Aaron
thinking
Rodgers
DK.
could coexist in a locker room?
No.
Those
And I know that was a quick
those
answer, but I just
those
don't
are some
think so.
very like high end.
And what's crazy though, like
It's
that's
guys.
always
Hella
that's
ego.
always what Tomlin wants though. Like he always just seems to like have to deal with these high,
Divas.
like like these insane ass
Oh,
personalities.
you dealing with full blown like
Crash
I
outs,
will
bro.
fight in the middle of the game and get tossed before I let someone step on my pride.
And then our quarterback is just at the end of the game is just gonna go in a room and just get high off of
Shrooms,
shrooms,
ayahuasca.
Like
Walking
yeah, it's just
around
like
barefoot.
I don't know if my
Playing
quarterback is
shadow
gonna want to
man.
play next week. Like who knows? He might
Darkness
wanna
retreats.
Just, he might just wake up and decide like I
Imagine throwing the ball to Calvin Austin and you got DK and Pickens both right here. Like, throw me the ball, man.
Yeah,
Like,
Out there, cuss man.
So I don't know. And I just always found the DK things just funny. It's like he said that wants to go to contender and win it, but also he was traded, so it's like he didn't really have. No
man, they gave him
choice.
150 million.
But also then he probably thought about that and was like, "I'll go."
Bro, he wanted to go to warm weather. Didn't get that there either. Like, I mean, like,
Or a contender.
Oh no, my bad. It wasn't that. It was Myles Garrett. That's the one that was insane to me. Said he wants to go. He wants
Oh,
to
yeah,
go to
then he went.
contender.
Oh, they
And
gave him that bag.
And then that's really what it was like.
You
Yo
look
was
at
like,
generational
yo
money,
said,
bro.
"Wait a
Like,
minute now, hold on."
Bag, bro. That's all it was. Because I really wanted him to leave. Because like we were for sure probably like, oh yeah, we're gonna get Miles if he leaves. Like because we were talking with him. Like
Yeah.
we were in the top. We were like one of the top teams for him. And it just so happened that the Browns just decided like, no, we don't want to lose him. Just throw everything we got.
Crazy
I'd
take,
stay for that too.
crazy take though. I still think he somehow is going to get his way out of Cleveland. Me personally,
like somebody trades for him or like,
Ain't nobody taking that contract.
I just don't.
They gonna have to
like,
eat some of that if they trade him.
I don't know, yo. I'm gonna be real. Like, I don't know. Unless he just used that as like bait to get them to be like, nah, we need you to stay, and gave him all that. I think he really still may feel like that. And once he like he said, yo, he's not trying. Like getting into Canton is cool, but like he wants the chips. Like he wants championships.
I mean, he probably already in there. He probably already in there.
And that's another thing. I mean, like, well,
But they probably think they can get out of that Deshaun contract. That's why they ain't mind giving it to him.
they got a high draft pick, right? So I mean, like, depending on what they do in the draft, I guess like
Kenny Pickett coming to save the day.
I forgot Kenny's there.
Super Bowl quarterback.
Hey, he did win a ring. It's like,
Hey man, you know who else came to save the day? LeBron James, right? Bronny was under some fire by Stephen A. Stephen A.
Yeah.
basically called out Bronny, and he called out LeBron for being a bad dad, right?
Yeah.
And then if anyone doesn't know, LeBron addressed Stephen A. at a Lakers game. He ran up on
He
him,
walked down on him.
and he basically said, "Don't talk about my son." You know what I mean? And Stephen A. was like, Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like, no, in his
just
head.
just to give a little further context though, right? Like the way so obviously some people will take this different ways. You know, when it comes to LeBron, you know, we've reached to the point where you either love him or hate him. There's no in between. At least socially on social media. I'm not saying that's how every person feels, but social media, you're either going to see stuff that's going to say greatest guy we've ever seen in any sport ever, or dang, I hate this man, right? So it's like, it's not about criticizing Bronny, right? It was the fact that Stephen A. Smith, he got on TV and he said LeBron, and you know how you do that, hey, put the cameras on me. And he gets down in the camera and he goes, I'm pleading to you as a father. And that's what blew LeBron away, right?
Yeah.
Because LeBron, he don't respond to criticism. He's been critiqued his whole life since he was 15 years old, bro, in high school. But it was the fact that he said as a father that triggered him.
Yeah.
And he was like, yo, you know, you can say anything about my son or me when it comes to basketball, but don't ever talk about me as a father.
Yeah, as a journalist myself, without hearing the full context, I initially sided with Stephen A. because I thought Stephen A. kept the comments to Bronny not playing well, right? But then I looked into it, and there was no reason for him to call out LeBron as a father.
Because he was saying, you're setting your son up for failure by doing this. And nobody else in the world thinks that ooping your son, even if Bronny truly did not deserve to be drafted, right? Nobody thinks that ooping your son to the NBA is a negative thing. If I get my son in the NBA, I don't care what you say. I'm one of the greatest fathers there is.
Look at LeVar. You know what I mean? He got all three of his sons to the league.
I feel like it's better ways Stephen A. could say that because I have a take on Bronny and LeBron playing together. I'm gonna say it. I feel as though if you want to get the best out of Bronny, get him away from LeBron. And reason being, father and son, right? You know, I compete with my dad in every level. Like we bowl, I try to beat him every time. So I feel as though you take Bronny away from him, make him go to a team where he can elevate himself and build himself up, make him play against his dad. Bet you it's the best basketball you're ever gonna see from Bronny. To be honest, because it's like, yo, it's like the guy that raised me and plays this sport at the highest level, probably the greatest ever. I'm gonna show the world that I'm his son, and I can be just as good as him. Because that's what y'all want. Y'all want Bronny to be just as good as LeBron. So if you want him to play like it, make him play against LeBron. It's not good. It's an unfair expectation, but like you want to see him play good.
Yeah, facts.
I feel like that's what you're gonna get.
Did y'all see Stephen A.'s response to LeBron walking up to him?
A
little bit. Like, what did y'all think about that?
Man, he looked like he was scared, like he seen a ghost.
Yeah.
Like no. I
mean when he got on first take.
When he responded to it.
Yeah,
man, I thought it was weak, bro, because like he's always that guy that says, yo, I know everybody in the NBA, everybody got my number. If you got a problem with me, come say it to my face, pull me aside, whatever. LeBron straight walked down on you, told you what he wanted to say, and you said yes, sir, and you sat down. And then you go on these podcasts. You went on 2 or 3 podcasts talking about how, hey man, you supposed to give me a phone call. You put me in a situation where I ain't know how to respond, and that was weak. And a phone call.
I just feel as though like LeBron did it as respectfully as possible.
Right.
Like,
he did it in the middle of the game though. That
wasn't as respectfully as possible.
Well,
he did it in the middle of
and then he came back.
He did it in the middle of the. He left the Lakers huddle to go to him.
Because you could tell it was burning him up when he seen
they not too far from each other.
I didn't notice this, but they said during warm-ups, he seen him walk in and he looked at him and he kept warming up. And they could tell, like, through every time out up until that point, he kind of just glanced over there a little bit, and he was like, I gotta say something,
Then he said at one point, he noticed Bronny looking over at Stephen A, and he could see Bronny look real dejected about it. And that's when he got up. After the timeout, during the timeout, it was after that moment, so in that huddle, that's when he went over and did that.
I didn't see that it was in the middle of a game.
Yeah, it was like third quarter. If it was like
after, I would have been like, yeah,
middle
cool.
Of the game, bro.
If it was like after, I was like, yeah, cool.
It was like third quarter.
He left the Lakers.
It was during the timeout. It was during the timeout.
I didn't see that. Yes. I didn't know. I just seen the video of it happen. I didn't know it was in the middle of the game. Like I didn't see the game or anything like that.
So yo,
so I mean, like, and again, and that's why I wanted to listen to everybody because like I ain't gonna lie, I had a real like. I guess a real simple like take on it is beforehand, but like after really listening to you like break it down and explain it, I kind of see where Stephen A is kind of like is not looking good on his side. But But in a sense, like y'all don't see how that he was not prepared for that in that moment. He could not have expected LeBron James to leave the Lakers huddle in the third quarter, trying to beat the Knicks in Madison Square Garden to come approach him.
My only, I'm about to say, my only response to that. While you could also say, maybe that's not the right time. Maybe you do that after the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I do get that viewpoint of it, but like it wasn't like he was gonna fight him. You know what I'm saying?
No, of course.
So it's like, bro, you tell players to do it, and he did it. Like, again, maybe not the right time. You feel me? But don't then go on this podcast tour afterwards talking about how it was weak for him to do that in front of everyone. When has addressing something face to face with a person ever been seen as weak?
Yeah, no, y'all are absolutely right. But let me throw this at y'all.
Mm-hmm.
How did he give him any chance to sit there and say anything that he wanted, that he needed to say? It literally was in the Lakers timeout. And he had to get back onto the goddamn court and play. He left. He didn't give him a chance to say shit to him right there.
My thing,
but
say nothing at all.
Like, and I guess what I'm saying.
Like, what do you say?
I don't think it was.
And that's why I'm like, and never again, I'm not saying like I don't want to make it seem like I'm taking Stephen A's side. Like I said, after hearing more about it, it is it was crazy. Like you said, he is a person that says like, if you got something to say, but it's like I feel like he's taking it in the sense of like, let's have that conversation. Don't just come up to me in the middle of the game in a huddle in a timeout and not give me a chance to have a rebuttal, because I know you got like he literally said that and then bopped off. He didn't have a chance.
It would
have looked even crazier had Stephen A. like tried to hawk him down and say, "No, we wouldn't have had this conversation right now."
Sure.
He's in the middle of the game.
I feel you.
Bron can't have that talk.
Yeah, he has some decorum there where he's like, all right, I'm gonna take my L. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna address it a different way. But the way he addressed it is what I'm talking about.
And yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's still
because not knowing, a lot of people don't also know. A week before that, his peoples reached out to Stephen A. They reached out to him, and he said, don't call me on the phone or whatever. Like he's going back and forth on what's appropriate and what's not appropriate, and that's the issue here, right? The issue is not like I get he put him in a tough spot to where it's like, what is Stephen A. really going to do in that moment, right? But I mean, everything you just said on the podcast, at least say some of it. You didn't say nothing. You said yes, sir, and you sat down.
Do you think after seeing this, do you think it's okay for like players to pull up on reporters like this? I mean, because if y'all remember early in the year, I truly hate to always make this about the Sixers, but Joel pushed the reporter early.
He ain't putting no hands on no reporter.
You see what I'm saying?
That's taking it too far.
Right?
But what I will say is, you say, is it okay for players to walk up on reporters?
Like, or we see this more. Like,
but that situation wasn't a player walking up on a reporter. That was a father walking up on another man, checking him about his son. That's different. Right? That's not me saying, hey, I don't like how you talk about me on your show.
Yeah, that's not him doing his job about his
the same way if you have a son, or a daughter or whatever, right? When you have a child, like and another adult does something that you don't see appropriate towards your child, you don't care about anything in that moment. You addressing them, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It just so happened that he's LeBron James. Right? But in that moment, he's not LeBron James the player, he's LeBron James the father.
I just think his LeBron's father instinct just took over. It just it was like he really ain't like what he says. So it was like I got it.
And it's so crazy you say that. I just early because I had watched the clip about Melo's podcast, and him and Dwayne Wade was talking about it, and literally these are two guys know this man from his entire life, and Wade was saying he said yo. You could literally see this shit was visibly getting to Bron. Like he said he ain't never see Bron like this before. And Bron, he was like he has never addressed nobody. Melo was like, yo.
Yeah, I seen the clip you talking.
Yeah, he was like Melo was like, yo, he don't even address guys that be like checking them in games.
Like, bro, he's never ran down on Skip. And Skip be saying the craziest things about Bron.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So it's like
crazy about Bron.
That's why
they both was at the mindset was like about time LeBron check somebody. Bro.
Yeah, and it's just like then that's why it's crazy that you brought it, because it's like, I think it is something that's like it's just crazy to think like. And I think it doubles down on your point. Like it just was the fact that this was him being a father. Like it had nothing to do about LeBron James, the NBA basketball player.
And in that clip, Melo and D Wade both says that I'd have did the same thing. Yeah. They both said, and Melo was like, I might have put hands on somebody. You know what I mean? Like
Melo, I believe
you know what I mean? Like I don't know if he just talking tongue in cheek, but they coming from the same standpoint where it's like, looking at it as a dad. Now none of them agreed that LeBron should have did that, but they both said that we would have done that.
Here's my thing, because this is where I still kind of get confused. What exactly did Stephen A. say about Bronny that Or was you saying that it wasn't even? It's not about.
It was just.
It wasn't about.
He has a father put him in a position.
Yeah,
to
he
fail.
was saying that LeBron, as a father, set his son up to fail.
Okay, and I'm guessing that's when he was referring to like when he was making the comments about like for example when he said like Bronny's better than a lot of the guys that's in the league. Well, not a lot of guys, but like
not even that. It's just
like,
the fact that he was drafted. He's on the team. He's on the Lakers. The Lakers used draft capital to reach for Bronny, and Stephen A's like, well, you're putting him in a position to fail because
that's not even a reach.
He
bro.
hasn't been
good.
Like,
the thing about that, and not to get into the Bronny situation because I don't even think Bronny's the best son. I think Bryce is, but
yeah,
but just 55th in the NBA draft is not a reach. Look at all the guys who went right around him. They all averaging the same, less. Those guys are averaging like 0.4 points a game. Yeah. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, my man was like, when has a 55th pick ever been talked about this much?
Yeah, like Bronny's literally like leading the G League in scoring, and then one of my homeboys was brought up the fact that like there's guys that were picked in the top 10 that are like not even doing shit in the league right now.
And they don't even cover like the fact they covered it when he was out there bricking, going for 1 for 7 and all that. Mm-hmm. But when he was dropping 30 in the G League, that ain't never hit ESPN.
And that's what I was gonna say, because I've heard a lot of people say like, oh, Bronny shouldn't be in the NBA. He shouldn't be on a Lakers bench. I'm like, bro, what else do you want him to do? He's dominating in the G League. Mm-hmm.
That's what he's supposed to do. Yeah.
He should be on the NBA roster, even if he's not playing. Mm-hmm. Like, because if you keep sending him in the G League, he's just going to be a G League MVP like every year. Because like he's only going to get better. He's young.
I mean, even in that most recent game against the Nuggets, he wasn't an impact player, but he had some solid minutes on the floor.
That's what I'm saying.
Solid minutes on the floor.
And like Bronny isn't trash. Like he doesn't suck. Like he has his dad's mentality.
You gotta also understand man had cardiac arrest.
Right.
As a kid, bro. He gotta readjust his whole everything.
It's like when you watch Bronny play and you see him dominate in the G League and the way he plays there, and it's like when he comes to the Lakers, it's like, yo, he has to, adjust to the skill gap. Like, of course, of course, he's not gonna score 30 points, 20 points. He's not that.
He's not the first overall pick, bro.
Not the first pick. Like, but he should be on the NBA roster. He does deserve to be in the NBA. He does deserve to have a job in the NBA. Yes. Like, and I don't like that people slander Bronny so much about like, oh, he's not doing this in the NBA. He shouldn't be there. Like, it's a lot of guys that. And
Giannis did it. And Giannis did it for Thanasis.
Thanasis, yeah.
Right. And Thanasis is worse than.
He's worse, bro.
He's
worse.
He is.
He's worse than Bronny.
Oh, so let me flip this back to Stephen A. You think Stephen A. is going to be more careful about what he says moving forward, or you think he's still not going to care?
No, he's still going to be him because Stephen A. views himself as a superstar, bro. And that's kind of where I was kind of getting at, with just a follow-up question to that is like, should media people be seen as prominent sports figures? Because like guys like him, Skip Bayless, I don't know,
Colin Cowherd.
Yeah, Colin. Colin's a little bit more on the player-friendly side, but Skip and Stephen A. will literally ruffle feathers and then, boast about the feathers that they ruffled.
The only reason I don't agree with people like this, like reporters being the face of like certain stuff, and it's like, I don't like reporters that don't have a sport background. Like,
but see, you look. I want to challenge that because you look at guys like Shaq and Charles. Well, Shaq specifically, bro. Shaq don't even know half the guys on the teams he be talking about.
Yeah, but yes, it does come down to.
He's like, my bad. That Pistons.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
He's like, my bad. I don't even watch the Pistons.
Bro, he don't even know the
Pistons. I was like, what? I don't watch.
Like, but that's the only thing. It's like, yeah, I get like some of these guys, like these guys actually watch the game. Like, yeah, of course, like even if they don't have a sports background, but I don't think this should give you the right to dog somebody into the ground. You don't know how hard it is to do these sports.
Yeah,
like you've never done it.
That's kind of how I don't know if y'all remember back when they used to have the Shaq and the Fool thing. Mm-hmm. JaVale McGee used to go back and forth with Shaq all the time because he's like, dang man, I'm not as good as you were, but you killing my career, bro.
Yeah, nah,
like you're literally killing my career. Like every mistake I make, you're highlighting it on your biggest platform. And that's not cool.
JaVale.
So like,
I'm sorry.
So yeah, that's why I'm just like, I think media guys should keep it sports, keep it away from the families and all of that stuff. And I get it, we ain't seen too many sons play with their dads, no one ever. But I'm just saying, like, you're not the guy, bro. You're just not. And Stephen A. thinks he is. I mean, he's the highest paid sports reporter in the country, but
hey, I mean, it is what it is. Hey, moving on to the last topic real quick. I know we're running out of time. I personally didn't listen to it. I know everybody else did. Playboy Carti dropped the album. Some saying it might be album of the year. I don't know. It sounds like just noises to me. But what do you guys
Just go
think?
ahead,
Like,
give him the floor.
Rashad, no, like I'm not.
Go ahead, give him the floor.
Like, I'm not.
but I haven't listened to it, so I can't even do
No,
that.
so the why don't say that then.
But I was just,
like, come on, bro.
But it's really like that?
Yes. Like, and I'm not even gonna lie. Like the last, like all the other shit, like Whole Lot of Red and Dial It. Dial It really is more like you could have. I don't see why you wouldn't have liked that. But Whole Lot of Red, I can understand if like niggas listened to the last Cardi album that came out and they were like, I'm not really fucking with that.
Mm-hmm.
Completely understand. I'm gonna be real with you. It's really not my favorite either. But this album right here, yo, it's gonna sound ridiculous when I say this, but like honestly, the album gives you vibes of like 2000 Wayne, like mixtape Wayne. It do.
That's hot praise, bro.
No, it do. And I like
talking to a diehard Wayne fan,
and I like it's not literal, like not literal,
I get what you're
obviously,
saying.
but like you get what I'm saying. Like just the aspect of like, yo, like it's just got something for everybody. Like it's just so many different sounds on the album. Like I mean, on the album, like you literally there's a song for everybody on the shit.
Yeah,
Like just listen to the album shot, and I guarantee you, you're gonna like it.
I listened to it. I'm not gonna say so I'm not a Playboy Cardi stan.
Well,
right?
let me just say that I'm a full Playboy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I'm not a stan. I'm 100% a casual. That whole genre of rap, the whole like rock star rap, the whole mosh pit rap, that kind of rap kind of missed me completely, right? Like I listened to all the guys when they, the Travises, the X, back when he was alive, like
Uzi.
all them guys, I gave them a listen to every time they drop.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna say that I'm a foremost, but I don't see it the way you did. Like the songs that I liked the most were the ones that had other people on it, and that might just be because I'm not as much of a diehard Cardi fan as you. But the songs with Future, the songs with first of all, my favorite song in that joint is the one with The Weeknd. That's my favorite song.
That's
a really good song.
Yeah.
But
It's an amazing song. Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was a cool listen. Again, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the YNs will be like, oh, you too old for it, I guess. But I don't know. Like, we kind of in that in-between stage, right? Well, we not the OGs, but we not the YNs. So I feel like we can still tap into that.
I'm pretty close to 30. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
I'm more on the younger side anyway. So, like...
Well, according to them, if you ain't younger than 25, then you
Well, I am, so... But,
oh, you are?
Yeah, I'm 23.
Yeah.
You 23?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, he young as shit.
That's why
My
I feel like
fault, bro.
my point of view would be kind of like different. But like, see, I wasn't the hugest Cardi fan when he was coming up. Like, of course, I like all of the good songs. Like, he always put out the mainstream stuff. But like, I never really dug deep into like Playboy Cardi till like as of recently, because of course I'm friends with Leak. He forces that shit on me. But like, but like, I liked it solely because like I like certain people that like a lot of people don't really listen to right now. Like I'm a huge Kid Cudi fan. Like I've always liked Kid Cudi.
Yeah.
I still listen to all of his stuff now, and it's like me listening to that Cardi, like the whole futuristic stuff, all like next generation type shit, like space music. That's shit Kid Cudi makes. Yeah, it's like, and I liked it, so I like that stuff. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna listen to the album, and I like the album a lot more than I thought I was, because I would never really like huge on Cardi. And his last album was one of his first albums I actually fully listened to, and I didn't really like it like that. But of course, Leak said it's not really his best anyway. So it's like I get it.
I agree with you. Like, all jokes aside, like I'm not a Cardi fan, but I did listen to recently. I think it's called the joint with Uzi. It's like it's old. Like the cover's black and white.
Oh,
Shooter.
I love that song.
Yeah.
I love that song, right? But like, I think Whole Lot of Red, bro. It was a lot of like beep boop bop type of sounds.
It was a purely punk. It was a punk album.
And
I was watching the Joe Budden podcast when they was they review a lot of the high profile albums that come out, and they all pretty much were just like, I could just accept it's not for me. And I was like, dang, bro, y'all ain't even going to listen to it? Like, so I listened to it, and that's what I'm saying, like, as a casual, I do think it's a good album, but I just can't side from this, like, I can't be on the side of no skips. Like, it's a good album. I just can't be on the side of no skips. That's how I look at it.
Is it burning you up?
It's no,
and that's
skips,
so none?
Yes, it's no skip.
I'm sorry, I can't do the heavy metal rock, bro.
Yeah,
like,
and it's not, and that's the thing. The only song on there that's really like that heavy metal, like rock, is Pop Out, and that's the first one. And I'll be so honest. Like, I know I say no skips, but if we're being for real, I don't start with that one, so I didn't technically skip it.
Well, you listen to new albums on shuffle?
Huh?
You listen to new albums on shuffle?
Straight through.
I go straight through.
So I'm gonna be real with you. I'm very picky, and because Cardi is literally my favorite artist, I listen to this straight through. Usually though, on the other like albums, I ain't gonna lie. If I see features I like, I might listen to them first.
But the thing
like,
is, when they
but yeah, I will probably listen on shuffle though to answer your question.
when they structure their albums, though, they put the song placements in a position for a reason. That's how I look at it. So, like,
And they do, but they fucked up with his on this
He
one.
fucked up his song.
So here's the thing. So Pop Out actually transitions into Evil Jordan.
Real quick, we running out of time, but like
How much time we got?
literally like 10 seconds.
Okay, well. I mean, well, shit. Damn.
I thought he was
But no, I was just saying as far as the
like,
placement thing to go. Yeah, no, the placement thing. They did fuck up on that one. So like, I do agree though. The albums of placement, like you should listen to it in order. But yeah, no, it's no skips. Like I'm sorry, it's no skips. But again, like I said, I'm a Cardi stan. So like, I'm gonna be real. And I know DeAndre say like I'm gonna be real. Yo, I told him earlier, like I'm at the point now, like as far as like when it comes to Cardi, I don't be telling people like, oh, you gotta listen to him, you gotta bump him, like he's that guy. Like I'll just let you know, like, look, it bump. It's obviously my favorite artist, so I'ma love it. But like, just give it a listen. It's not for you. It's not for you. Like I'm really not one of them people that's like, I'm a Cardi stan, but I keep it inside. Like you know what I'm saying. Like now, if you in the car with me. You're
gonna hear it.
Yeah, you're gonna probably get annoyed, but that's different. Like I'm not all out in the like, oh nah, Cardi's like God, like he's the GOAT, like all that. Like I fucks with Cardi heavy, but like I will say, like I ain't gonna lie, this album I will say, and I know it was a crazy take, but this album it really is good. Like, and I say that in the sense that like the feeling, not literal, like, but just that feeling. You know what I mean? Like. Just the whole feeling of this album rollout, the whole how the shit is going, like the reception of it. Literally, the album's only been out for 3 days, and he's literally broken. It ranked 7th all time, Spotify only on the debut. Like we haven't even gotten first week numbers yet. This man literally is probably gonna break every record ever.
Hey, well, you heard it here first. If you didn't listen to it, you got to listen to it.
Got to check it out.
It's no skips.
No
But
skips.
I think that does it for another episode of Fourth Down Podcast. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Shout out to y'all for showing up and being great. Right?
Sure.
So.
Another one in the books.
Be safe.